Hey friends, good morning. In a serial data communication, the obvious things to look for are the correct pin numbers for the transmit and receive data. In a DB9 connector, these are pin 2 and pin 3 that must be appropriately connected for DTC and DCE devices. The DTE directly mate with DCE devices, while a DTE to DTE signal connections need to be crossed or a null modem has to be used. To determine a RS232 data transmit, measure the pin 7, that is ground, to pin 2 and pin 3 while the device is powered on and transmitting. Well, as mentioned in our earlier discussion, the signal transmission in an unbalanced asynchronous communication is inverted. So a reading of -3 to -12 volt usually indicates the data transmit pin. For a RS422 and a RS485, as it is a balanced signal, we have to measure the positive and negative pairs of pin for the transmission or reception. Some devices though need signal inputs on their control lines before they can send or receive data. While most of our survey devices have internal pull-up resistors and can function with open inputs, until one may well require to configure the equipment itself. If we have a garbled data, it basically indicates that the baud rates either on the transmitter or the receivers are different. In another case, let's say if we are receiving half good and half bad characters. For example, let's say we are transmitting a sequence of 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, but at the receiver end it appears as 1 hash 2 star 4 5, where half characters are good and half characters are bad. It is basically that the parity settings either on the transmitter or the receiver are incorrect. Though it is obvious, but it is also prudent to have a look at the format selected on the both ends. RS422 and RS485 are essentially half duplex system which are made full duplex by adding extra pairs of wires. In these systems, there may be time when no one is transmitting and the signal lines are allowed to float as noise, and we may be receiving bad data between the messages. To deal with it, we have to use two 180 ohms resistor. One 180 ohm resistor has to be placed in between the positive transmission pin and the plus supply voltage, while the another 180 ohm resistor has to be placed in between the negative transmission pin and the ground. For a balanced serial transmission, in case of RS422 and 485, ideally the two ends of the cable must have a terminal resistor connected across its two wire. Without termination resistors, the signal reflections of the alternated end of the cable can cause a data corruption. The termination resistance, because of its low impedance, reduces the electrical noise sensitivity. There may be a chance that the receiver is set to echo and so it may be receiving its own messages. As in RS422 and RS485, the receiver is always listening to the transmitted messages. The other thing is line contention, which basically is caused by the shorting of output drivers. To put it in perspective, let's say we have a topside which has a driver and a receiver. Then we have a transceiver which also has a driver and a receiver. Let's consider a case here. Driver D1 intends to send a signal to receiver R1, but the driver D2 is still enabled, and so there is a crosstalk. A line contention fault condition occurs and erroneous data is being transmitted to the receiver R1. Other thing in a survey spread modulation is the length of the serial cables. It may happen that there is noise being induced just because the length of the serial cable have exceeded its electromagnetic compatibility. Last but not the least, a problem that sometimes occurs on our online navigation computer is that mouse jumps all over the display real estate. This is due to the data coming in from the COM port from external sources like the DGPS or the RTCM corrections. Usually the workaround is unplug the data inputs, boot the system up, disable the additional mouse that is created in the device manager, reconnect the data inputs and pray. In rare cases though, one may have to modify the boot ini file in the root directory to disable the detection of the device on the COM ports during the startup itself. I hope this discussion was interesting and a bit informative too. The ideas in this discourse have, out of necessity, been presented in a very simple manner. Hence, please be prudent. Take care. We'll see you around. Bye bye.